It is springtime, and that means more garden work and more yard work. Oftentimes people will tell me that their feet and their ankles get really sore after they've been working in the yard or their garden for a little while. So we're going to talk about shoe wear today as it relates to gardening and how you can protect your feet and your ankles in the process. The most common shoes are probably Crocs. What I love about Crocs is they're easy to slip on, they're easy to get out and do what you need to do, and then they're easily washable. So you can hose these off, throw them in the washing machine, and get them clean in a minute. The problem with Crocs is that the foot can slip really easily. So I will throw these on if I'm just gonna do something that's simple in the garden. I don't really like to walk on uneven terrain in these, because what happens is as your foot slips in here, oftentimes, and I know some of you watching this has happened to, because it's happened to me, where your foot, you'll take a wrong step on uneven ground and your foot will actually slip to the side and you're standing on your Croc like this. I've had people sprain ankles, break bones in their feet because of these. So only really if you're walking on flatter surfaces that are more stable, that aren't going to require that you have so much agility in your ankle. So avoid anything that doesn't have a whole lot of stability. But that brings us to a good old rubber boot. I love my Xtratufs. I usually buy a pair of rubber boots almost every year, and what happens is they split at the seam. These Xtratufs are at least 5 years old. They were developed by women who do commercial fishing up in Alaska, and so they're designed, you can see how this seam comes all the way around, so there's no seam splitting. They are 100% waterproof. They're super cute too. They roll down, and there's some sharks in here, whales I think, yeah, so there's some whales in there, so they can roll down. But I'll put these on if I'm gonna be working in the back garden where there's a lot of high, tall weeds or brush. They were not cheap, but they were definitely worth it. I won't use these if I am gonna be doing a lot of walking because my foot is a little bit sloppy inside of them. I don't like anything that has slop, and the reason for that is my feet get tired. So ultimately, when you're doing a lot of walking, you wanna have that level of stability in your shoe. And so that brings me to my hiking boots. I bought these many, many years ago. I think these are about 30 years old. The company's called Vasque. I don't even know if they make hiking boots anymore, but you get a good quality hiking boot. And what's special about it is it's a stiff sole. So I can't do anything. It's stable. And then of course it has ankle support as well. So when I'm in my front garden up here and I'm walking on uneven terrain, I love having these on because they're going to provide that level of stability for me. And I'm not gonna risk twisting my ankle, breaking my foot, because they're solid. So this is giving me a great stable surface to walk on when I'm on an uneven surface. They're also really supportive in the sense that I can wear these for many hours and my feet won't get tired and they won't be sore the next day. What'll typically happen when you end up with soreness on the bottom of your feet or plantar fasciitis, which is that irritation or tendonitis of the fascia on the bottom of the foot, is your foot has been looking to grip and it can't find that stability. And that will also happen if you're wearing a poor quality tennis shoe that has a lot of flexibility with it, where your feet are constantly trying to figure out where to balance you. And the unfortunate part about wearing a cheap tennis shoe in the garden is that it's putting that layer between your brain and the ground. And so it's like trying to read in the dark. Your brain doesn't have a complete signal of where you are on the ground. And so your feet are constantly moving and it's constantly irritating. It's just repetitive stress along that plantar fascia on the bottom of the foot. So I don't recommend a cheap tennis shoe. I do recommend, if you're going to be out in the yard, and a lot of you are, but weekly doing yard work and gardening, invest in a good, solid, stiff-soled shoe that will allow your feet to have the stability and also prevent you from rolling an ankle, but will prevent the fascia from overworking. And then you won't get that irritation of the fascia on the bottom of the foot, lending itself to plantar fasciitis. All right, that is my review of your shoe wear for gardening and lawn care. Please please leave me a comment, and I will see you on the next one.